And I think part of this season too is there are those expectations from family, from siblings, from parents, from all of those people outside of your immediate family. And I think it's important to remember that you need to still put your family, your marriage, your kids, that family, you still need to make sure that they come first and that you don't give into expectations that everybody has to hang out together every day for who knows how long if it's not good for you and your family. Do you find yourself wondering if this is all marriage has to offer? Are you so busy and exhausted at the end of the day that your marriage is the last thing you have energy to think about?
If you're wondering if God has more for your marriage, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Living Marriages Podcast. My name is Aaron, pastor and marriage coach.
And I'm April, spiritual director and marriage coach. Join us as we explore simple habits for building intimacy with your spouse while learning what it means to center your marriage on Christ.
Thanks for joining us on the Living Marriages Podcast. If you haven't had a chance yet, we'd invite you to subscribe to this podcast if you're enjoying it. And if you've been finding it helpful, please let your friends and family know about it as well. You sharing this really means the world to us, and it helps us get the good news out there about God's heart for marriage. And, we're going to have a little bit of a conversation around God's heart for marriage during what can be a very stressful time of the year.
If you're listening to this as it's being released, we are coming out of the American Thanksgiving season for our American listeners, and we're heading into the Christmas season. And we don't have much experience with American Thanksgiving up here in Canada, but my sister was visiting from Cincinnati, and we got a little taste of it. And it got a little chaotic, just with all the things that you need to fit in while we were still also trying to do normal life up here in Canada where we didn't have time off.
So it was a hectic season, and we were looking over our December calendar now too and realizing without meaning to how hectic December has become for us as well. And that's often a reality, I think, for all of our listeners out there, especially with kids. Recitals and school performances and parties and potlucks, and the list just goes on. And it's like, how are we already booking appointments in January because we don't have time to meet with friends now in December?
Yeah, and God also gave us a wonderful gift at the beginning of December in the form of our 5-year-old son. And so we also have a birthday that we have to account for at the beginning of December. And so if you, our listeners like us, are kind of feeling like you're just run off your feet, thinking either coming out of Thanksgiving and prepping for Christmas, or for us here in Canada where Thanksgiving was a while ago and Christmas is coming and it is busy. We're just going to talk a little bit today about what it looks like to communicate with your spouse during this hectic season, to figure out expectations, because you come from different families. There might be different expectations based on your upbringing, and to figure out, what do we really enjoy about this season? And what are some of the stressors that we need to maybe let go of or change a little bit so that we can have more balance and set boundaries within this crazy time?
Yeah. As you're saying that, April, I'm imagining our calendar right now and how full it looks. And I don't know how it got that way. I think we just I said yes to certain things. You said yes to certain things. The kids just are supposed to show up to certain things. And I think, did we count on this coming Sunday? We're not going to be home for probably 10 to 12 hours.
Yep.
And I don't think that's anybody's ideal. We know it's a season, but I also now I'm thinking, maybe we could have communicated a little bit better about the choices we were making for the days ahead, knowing that there are some things that we will just have to do, but maybe there are things we could have said no to earlier. So I'm kind of speaking this to us, but I'm sure our listeners out there, you're listening in on our conversation right now saying, oh yeah, we're with you in that.
Well, and this is coming from a couple of extroverts, right? Like we are both people. Our kids love people. And so for us, it feels really easy to say, oh yeah, we'll go to church in the morning and then we'll do the cookie exchange and then he has a birthday party and then we have this and we're like, oh, it'll be great. And we can say that knowing that our energy does come from being with people and that we love that. We also do get burnt out though.
We do. And we've been dealing with a virus going through our household. And if we sound a little bit more nasally or whatever on the podcast, croaky, you'll understand why. But it's the reality of the season. I'm just being very honest. I don't think I have really accounted for it going into December. We weren't intentional about this. And we rode the highs and experienced the busyness of having American Thanksgiving here in Canada. And we just kind of all of a sudden found ourselves plopped into a really crazy December. And now I'm thinking, okay, Lord, how can we do this better next year? And maybe even in the midst of the busyness, how can you and I, April, communicate? And how is God inviting you, our listeners, to communicate, to maybe still find those times to sit down and connect? I was very grateful, April, that you put your foot down earlier this week and said, we're having a date night, which we're going to do tonight. And so we're having a date night to make sure that in the midst of the busyness, we are still connecting and finding time to be with one another and to have those heart questions with one another. If you haven't had a chance to listen back on our episode, we'll put it in the show notes where you can go back and listen to some of our episodes about dates and about connecting and having intentional conversations, family meeting kind of things once a week. And I think that might be a helpful refresher
for us, certainly.
For us too. But when you communicate, I think April touched on a couple of those important things. If you have a chance, we're going to suggest, please take some time to sit down over the next several busy weeks, find some time, carve some time out, and connect on a heart level. What are some things that we do enjoy about this season? But also then be really honest about what are the stressors that are coming your way. What are things that you find stressful? And this may be a chance to talk about family traditions that you've brought in to your marriage that you haven't talked about before, that you've always just assumed, hey, this is how we do things. If you go back to our episode on family of origin, which we'll also put in the show notes, referencing that, just saying, hey, this is the way we did things, and this therefore it must be right.
And I think part of this season too is there are those expectations from family, from siblings, from parents, from all of those people outside of your immediate family. And I think it's important to remember that you need to still put your family, your marriage, your kids, that family, you still need to make sure that they come first, and that you don't give into expectations that everybody has to hang out together every day for who knows how long, if it's not good for you and your family. And I'm just realizing I have it on our whiteboard here to talk about, if you are traveling for the holidays and you're going to be staying with family, that's a little difficult not to be with them constantly. But I would still encourage you to talk about it. What does it mean or look like to have some downtimes, to have some boundaries in that busy season of being with family? Even if it's to go the 3 or 4 or however many are in your family, popping out to Morton's together and just being you for a little while, or going on a little walk, or closing the door in your bedroom and just having some quiet time to read a book. And do what you need to not just survive this season, but to actually find joy and rest in this season.
And I think to do that, you're going to need to be intentional. You're going to need to plan ahead and have those conversations ahead of time so that you know, oh my goodness, Kate, we have a plan for when we feel like we've reached our limit. Maybe have a safe word. We were mentoring a wonderful couple last night. We have the privilege of being their marriage mentors and talking about this very thing at Christmas when it feels like, okay, we are together as family. We're on the road. We've traveled. Do we have a way out when we need to for the sake of our family and for the sake of our connectedness? Not being afraid to offend others and their expectations because our family just needs a little bit of time to be healthy. And I can't remember what their safe word was.
I think it was pineapple.
Pineapple or...
I should put pineapple in the conversation here in Canada in winter, but hey.
If you can do it and say pineapple, if that's a word for you to say, hey, you know what? I think we need to pull away right now for a little bit and just have that time for our kids. Our encouragement in all of this, and I think it's as much encouragement to us as it is to you, our listeners, be intentional, plan ahead, look forward to the times of family and fun that you have coming, but also be honest about the stressors that lay ahead. Don't pretend that they don't exist and plan for those so that you and your family can stay healthy and connected.
And if you're in a marriage where one of you is an extrovert and one of you is an introvert, know that it is okay for the introvert to stay home if they need to.
Right.
If they realize, you know what, I'm peopled out, but I know that you, my extrovert spouse, really wants to go to this, please go. Enjoy it. Don't feel bad that I'm at home. Make plans and be willing to cancel. Make plans and be willing to change those plans, even at the last minute if you need to. Don't just push through because you feel like you can't say no, that you can't change what you're already committed to. Because you're still going to be exhausted at the end of this season. But you don't have to be quite as exhausted.
So I'm going to encourage you, please join us in episode 88, the Thursday Thought following this episode, where we're just going to have a chance to pray for you and pray for ourselves in the midst of this busyness and to, I think, really get God's heart and to get God's perspective on this and to hear him inviting us to breathe together with him in this season so that, as you said, April, we're not just surviving it, but that we can find ourselves thriving and truly remembering what this season is all about. I mean, this Advent time we are in now and the Christmas season approaching, it shouldn't be about craziness and expectations and all of those things, but really a time to be with the Savior and to enjoy his Advent, his coming to us here on earth. So until then, God bless.
Thank you for the privilege of journeying with you today as we seek God's best for our marriages.
Before you go, if you've been blessed, challenged, or inspired by what you've heard today, please bless us by hitting the follow button, leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and sharing this podcast with family and friends.
You can also support this nonprofit podcast by making a charitable donation at our website, livingmarriages.com.
Until next time, praying the life, intimacy, and connection of God's love over you and your marriage.